Hello, this is Sarah Shannon, owner of Shannon Consulting Curriculum Tutoring.com. This video is a very short audio mini lesson video for young people, and the objective of this video is using text structure to locate and recall specific text information. By the end of this lesson, young people, you'll be able to understand how to use text structure to locate and recall specific text information. This will be an introduction to that. We're going to listen to a real cute little short skit called Emergency 911 on how to locate and recall specific text information. And then your teacher's going to extend this lesson with the rest of the lesson. So before we begin, let's review what that means when we say using text structure to locate and recall specific text information. As a student, it's important for you to know that when you're looking at a text that you're reading in class, you have to understand that authors don't just sit down and write text any kind of way. They organize their text information in a certain manner so that the reader and the person that's reading their text can understand it better. So, for example, if you're reading a poem, authors organize poems a certain way. If you're reading a story, like let's say you're reading The Real Princess by Sarah Shannon, you're reading The Dream That Changed Santafield by Sarah Shannon, that's a story. Those are stories. The authors organize those with story map elements with the setting, characters, problem, action, event, and problem resolution. However, let's say you switch over and you start reading a story about Houston, for example, or a story about a museum, or a story about the planets, for example, or planet Earth. Those are nonfiction type of texts. So then you would shift your thought process and start thinking about how authors organize those types of texts. Those types of texts are organized in different ways than you organize a story, for example. As a student, it's important for you to know how fiction text and nonfiction text and poems and skits and texts are organized so that when you're given a question in response to a text, you're able to use your information, your background knowledge about how texts are organized to help you in answering those questions. So this particular lesson is just going to be an introduction on how to locate and recall specific text information. It won't necessarily go into all the other types, but just introduce the objective of using text structure to locate and recall specific information. That's just an introduction to that. Later, we can go and talk about other different types of text structure and how to respond to them. So we're just going to be a real quick introduction. The skit is called Emergency 911. 911 emergency. What is your emergency? Oh my goodness, help me, help me, help me. I can't believe this is happening to me. What seems to be the problem, ma'am? Oh, I, oh, it's too much. I can't handle the stress. Ma'am, please calm down and tell me what the emergency is. Well, it seems that, it seems that I can't locate the answer to these questions I'm reading. I was sitting here reading this passage, and at the bottom of the passage were all these questions. And the questions wanted to know all these answers, and I just couldn't answer them. Oh, ma'am, that is a serious problem. Hold on, ma'am. I'm going to get you one of our fact detectives. They will be able to talk you through this tragedy. Click, 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 click. Hello, this is fact detective number 22. How can I help you? I, I'm so upset. I can't even talk. You see, oh, it's just too much. Ma'am, please calm down. Trust me, lady. I see cases like yours every day. I'll talk you through this. Just tell me what happened. Okay, okay. I was sitting here reading this passage, and all of a sudden I came to the end of it, and there were all these questions. I just couldn't answer any of them. Okay, ma'am. Your first mistake was in reading the passage before looking at the questions. It was? Yes, ma'am. You should always preview the entire passage, read the questions first so that you know what you're looking for, and then read the story slowly or the text slowly and carefully. Oh, I didn't know that. Most people don't, lady. Most people don't. Okay. Once I've previewed the entire passage or story, read the questions first so that I know what I'm looking for, and have read the passage or story or text very slowly and carefully, then what do I do, fact detective? That's a good question, lady. After you have read the passage at least two times and have a good understanding of what you read, look carefully at how the text is organized and the questions. Read me question number one from your passage. Okay, question number one. Where was the lady's hat last seen before it disappeared? That man, I have no idea how to find that answer. How do I look? Where do I look? It's all just so confusing back then. Well, lady, that's my job. You must first go back into the story and look for the exact paragraph where they talked about the lady in her hat. Okay, I'm looking. I'm looking. I found it. Good job. Now I want you to find the exact sentence where they tell you the lady's hat was missing. Don't stop looking until you find it. Oh, I can't do that. It's too hard. You mean you want me to go to the exact sentence until I find the answer? What if I can't find it? Oh, ma'am, I promise you. You will find it if you do not give up. Just keep looking until you find the exact sentence. Okay, I'll try. Oh, I think I found it. It says here Miss Newman set her hat on the coffee table before she went to find out what the strange noise was. Oh, I can't believe it. I found the exact answer to my question. That's right, ma'am. It's as easy as that. If you do that with all your fact, detail, specific questions, you will be successful in finding the answer every time. Thank you, detective. Thank you so much. Just doing my job, lady. Just doing my job. Now, to all you students out there who come to an emergency problem, don't call 911. Just find the exact paragraph and the exact sentence and don't give up until you find the exact answer. If you don't give up, you will always be successful. Okay, so that was talking about specific fact detailed questions. Remember at the beginning of this audio, I said that there are certain type of text. So for example, if you're reading a poem and you were answering specific fact detailed questions like what color was the lady's hat or where did she put the pen that she set down. Those are specific questions that you can go back in the text, find the exact section, and then look for the exact answer. There are other type of questions that you would have to go a little bit more deeply, which we'll talk about a little bit later. But again, remember what I said. If you understand how texts are organized, like a text that's a poem, and poems are organized with stanzas, and they're organized in a certain manner, and if hopefully your teacher has taught you that, or you'll learn as you go out throughout the year. The poems are organized in a certain manner. They're different than how stories are organized. They're different than how nonfiction text, like a nonfiction or true story about a planet or something, or a true story of your math text, your social studies text, your science text. Those texts are different than like a story like The Real Princess by Sarah Shannon or The Dream of Jane Centerville by Sarah Shannon or a poem or a newsletter or a thank you letter or a card. So once you understand and recognize that authors don't just sit down and write text in any kind of manner or any kind of way, that will help you to think about how you're going to respond and find answers to questions that you're receiving. So again, this is just a real quick little fun way of introducing this particular objective focus. And as you go along for the next week or so or 2 weeks with your teacher, they're going to be able to talk to you about the different types of texts and how they're organized and how you will go about finding and locating the particular answer in the text that you're reading. Have a great day, and I hope you enjoyed that skit 911 emergency.